stabbing me in the back. You're really a special guy.
Hey, everybody, welcome. It's that time again. Matt Connarton, Unleashed in the Afternoon, live from WMNH 95.3 FM in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire, streaming online at WMNHradio.org. You can also watch on Channel 97 Comcast if you're in Manchester, and of course online on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page via Facebook Live, and you can interact in the Facebook Live chat. Of course, it is Thursday, August 23rd, 2018, and Jenny is here as well.
Hello.
And someone else was here, but I guess he left.
Hoppy was here.
He was here, and then he's gone.
Like a flash.
So,
like a flash.
Yes.
There was a flash of red.
Very unusual.
He was wearing red.
Yes. Yes. Well, no, it was more like orange, wasn't it?
No, it was red.
Oh, okay. All right. Hello.
What do you think? I'm colorblind?
I don't know. Why don't you? I don't think you've got your information right. I think that was.
I think it was pretty obvious.
I think that was definitely orange. I don't know.
Orange.
I don't know what your
pretty
problem
bright.
is.
I don't know why you can't seem to make out. Maybe you need to get your eyes rechecked.
Well, maybe you need to get your information straight before you go running your mouth. How about that?
How about you watch what you're saying to me? Are we gonna have a problem right now?
Well, whatever. Just do the traffic, would you?
The traffic's fine.
So you're not going to do traffic? You're not going to do traffic?
It's fine.
Well, why don't you just go home then?
Fine.
Jeez, if you're not going to do the traffic, just go
Wait a
home.
minute. I can't.
Why not?
You drove.
Oh, that's right. I drove.
Yeah, you drove.
Okay.
I have to stay.
I guess you can stay.
But it was still red.
That's our tribute to the to the morning show. The end of an era on the morning show with Peter White and the Moose. That was our little tribute. You know, a little theater, as they say in the South. That's how they say it in the South. You know, theater.
They do
They
not.
pronounce it theater.
No, they don't.
I grew up in Alabama, and that's
you
how.
grew up in Concord, New Hampshire. Please.
Don't know what you're talking about. Concord, Alabama, actually, and that's how they say it. They say theater.
No.
So.
No, they don't.
It's
in your imagination.
It's all very sad. I do have an exciting announcement, though, and this will be a surprise for you. You don't even know about this.
Uh-oh, what did I do now?
Beginning Monday here on WMNH, it's Unleashed in the Afternoon with Moose and Matt.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
You stink.
Maybe. It's a hot day. I've been sweating. But
well, this
no.
is true. I mean, you know that there is that.
I mean, the Moose is certainly welcome to join me anytime. I mean,
You're just trying to get rid of me.
I've extended that. Well, there's room for everyone. We have multiple mics, but you know, I have extended an invitation to him many times over the last couple of years. He's never taken me up on it, and I don't like to chase people, but no, it'd be lovely to have him in. But ideally,
I don't blame him for not taking it up from you. I mean,
I think I'd be nicer to him than Peter. No, actually, I don't think.
I don't know.
I don't think Peter was ever mean to him. No, I should.
I think you're meaner.
I can be. I can be quite mean.
I think you're meaner.
But so they addressed it on the morning show. Of course, we were listening to some of that. What happened, and it's funny because I mean, you and I had off-air conversations about this. How we always thought that you know. When they would argue, when Peter and Moose would argue, it's like Peter said, 2.5 years in, never had the Moose ever indicated to Peter that he had any problem with the ribbing.
Shtick.
Well, yeah, me too. And I thought, like, even when it would get really heated, I always figured...
I need to know about you. I mean, you get heated sometimes. Maybe you're not being a shtick. Maybe you're being a jerk.
I get heated all up in here.
You do?
Yes.
Although I do kind of like it when you get hot.
Well, you know, I've been told I'm sexy when I'm angry.
This is true.
But yeah, I always thought that that because what would often happen is, right, so they would get into a big argument. This is what I noticed. They would get into a big argument, and then kind of as it was winding down and they were moving on to another thing, they would both kind of laugh. And I always took that as their way of sort of, in one sense, kind of letting the audience in on, like, look, we're not really mad at each other. We're just having fun. But also, too.
How do you know that?
But also in a way, well,
you get your psychology degree.
That's always how I took it. And then, or maybe even a way that they would sort of be communicating that to each other. Okay, we both know we're not really mad. And then Peter said, too, on the show today, you said, and afterward they would be like, when they'd be leaving, they'd be like, wow, that was great radio today. That was a great show.
Joking around, yeah. I heard him say that.
Because Peter has.
Well, maybe things will change. You don't know what the future holds. It's not like you got like a crystal ball.
I'm not Norm. But I do hope that, because I do want to.
Hot in here.
It's a warm day. I do want to stick up for Peter a little bit because I know he did take criticism from a few people. Who and this was kind of an ongoing thing during the show.
Boy, he can handle it.
He's taken criticism from a few people for being too hard on Joel. But again, I never thought he was too hard on Joel because I always took it as that was their thing. That was shtick, and it was for
like
fun.
Mutual pickings,
and not anyone taking anything personally. So I always found it entertaining because part of the magic of Peter and Joel together is that chemistry. Joel, I've often said, is the most naturally hilarious person I've ever met. I could listen to him read names and phone numbers out of a phone book and be entertained. And Peter is like the perfect foil for Joel and knows just how to push his buttons and exactly what to say and how to get Joel going, get him worked up about the New York Jets or whatever. They're such a perfect...
The New York what?
The New York Jets, the team, the Jets, sucks. I'd play that sound clip, except I don't know where to find it.
Oh, okay, good.
Because Joel loves the New York sports teams. But, so...
You know what? I like Joel, but there's something wrong with him about that.
Yeah, I've never understood it because it's not even like he's from New York.
No, I mean, you got to be Red Sox. This is Red Sox country. This is Patriots country. You can't defile it.
But that was part of the chemistry, picking on Joel for liking the New York sports teams and whatnot. So I don't know.
I was on Joel for the New
I was quite shocked. It's funny too because I was listening to the replay, or no, I was listening online right before my show because it happened. What happened yesterday on the morning show? It happened at the beginning of the show, so I was listening to that and just listening to the audio without the video to go with it. I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, is this legit? This almost sounds like it might be staged. I'm not sure this is 100% legit. This might be a bit. But then after my show yesterday, I went on Facebook and watched the video, and when you see it, it's very clear that no, it was not a bit. It was not staged in any way. It was completely real, but yeah, just really shocking, and it's a bummer. And watching it was uncomfortable.
You don't know if things will change.
No, I hope so. It's like
Stop being a Debbie Downer.
No, I'm not trying to be it, but it's like I said on the show yesterday. It's like watching them argue like that. It's like it's like
a married couple.
It's like when you're a kid, and you're lying in bed at night and you're hearing your parents argue. For me, it was like that and that uncomfortable feeling. It was the same kind of thing watching Peter and Joel and watching Joel get so upset and storming out and everything.
That stunk.
Yeah.
There's no other way around that.
Very sad. Hello to Matt DaCosta, who joins us in the Facebook live chat.
And Heidi.
Heidi Hamer is in there. It's that time again, she says. Chuck Gosson is in there. He made a comment that, he agreed with because I had said it yesterday on the show, too, about the parents fighting, how it felt like that. Kevin Buckley is in there, who says, hello, Matt. So we got a bunch of people in there. So, of course, the Facebook live chat is one way that you can participate in the show, or you can give us a call, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. So, hopefully...
Yes, if you want to weigh in on the debate.
Yeah, but hopefully... hey, who knows? Anything could happen. But as far as I know, at at this moment, from what Peter was saying, Joel is not coming back, and the morning show will continue with Peter White as the host. And he's got a good supporting cast of characters, if you will, who come in and help him. And so, and I have a lot of faith in Peter. I'm sure that he'll as he becomes more comfortable with the new dynamic, it's
takes time to adjust.
Yeah, I mean it's a big. I mean, obviously he's had a lot of shows where Joel hasn't been there because Joel's been at the State House because he's also a state rep. But as it being a permanent thing, or theoretically a permanent thing, that's got to be a big adjustment for Pete. But he'll figure it out. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's a very smart guy. You think Joel comes back?
I say Joel comes back. The moose comes back. Moose.
What if he's not? What if he's not welcome back?
I don't think that would happen at all.
I don't think that would happen either. However, I will tell you. So when Artie Lang left the Howard Stern show, Howard's position at the time was they even reserved an empty chair for him, and that Artie was free to come back whenever he wanted. But that eventually changed, and apparently now Artie is not welcome on the Howard Stern show. So
what
who knows?
What does that got to do with this?
I'm just saying that.
Are you saying that Peter is like Howard Stern?
Somebody could know, but somebody could be welcome one
Peter's
day,
like
and,
Howard Stern,
and not welcome the
Really?
next. I don't know. Well, I'm not saying that. I mean, well, that would be a tremendous compliment if I did. I mean, Howard Stern is the most successful broadcaster in the history of radio.
I don't think that Peter is Howard Stern. He's just not.
Well, no, he's Peter White. He doesn't need to be Howard Stern.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Keep on stabbing me in the back.
So we'll see what happens. What?
I heard that.
I miss the moose.
I miss the moose too.
I miss.
There's no moose on the desk.
No, the moose is gone.
The moose.
The moose is gone. Well, we'll move on from that. I mean, we're certainly opening to discuss it further if anyone wants to call 603-250-6007. But I don't want to get too maudlin. But
only to the first caller. After that, it's $50 per minute.
Oh my goodness. And of course, like I said, I mean, if the moose ever wants to come on the show, he's always welcome here. And Peter as well, of course. Peter's been on the show a bunch of times with me, but
and
Joel
he's bailed you out.
Joel has never taken me up on the offer to come in. He came on to my TV show once or twice back when I did the television, but he's never joined me on the radio show.
Get up early to do the morning drive. Why would he want to come back for the evening drive?
No, I can understand that, but then again, Peter's done it.
So what?
He's
what are you trying to say?
He's come in the morning and then come back.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're just saying.
I'm just saying.
You're just saying what?
If Peter can do it, why can't Joel? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
So
I
Joel,
think you're insinuating something there.
Joel, if you're listening, you should join us. There's always room for the moose on Matt Connarton Unleashed in the afternoon.
Yes.
Maybe that'll be the new slogan. I'm still trying to, after all this time, I'm still trying to come up with a slogan or a tagline for the show, because some shows have that, some don't. But maybe that'll be be the tagline. There's always room for the moose on Matt Connarton Unleashed in the afternoon.
Well, no, I was ready to go with the hoppy. The Hoppy Hop program, or the Hoppy Hoppers.
That's not a tagline. That's like sounds like the name of a cartoon or something.
We're happy, we're hopping. Happy hopping.
That's ridiculous. You're saying ridiculous things. Why don't you just
I'm not.
Why don't you just do the traffic?
No, I'm not. It's fine.
Oh, jeez. Let's just go home then. If you're not going to do the traffic.
Because you get the keys.
I keep forgetting. Well, there is someone else we should be deeply concerned about, and it's not someone I necessarily like or trust, but I would never wish any harm on her. And I'm talking, of course, about Omarosa Manigault Newman, who, much to my dismay, I mean, look, she has talked about wanting to protect herself. She's got these tapes, she's got these recordings, kind of an insurance policy to protect herself now that she's out of the Trump White House. But there is one individual, we'll put it that way, from whom she cannot possibly protect herself, and it is the same individual who has anointed President Donald John Trump. with the presidency, to save America, to make America great again. And that is, of course, God.
Dun, 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 dun.
There's no protecting Omarosa from God. And according to right-wing Christian broadcasters, this is from rightwingwatch.org, by the way.
Oh, your favorite page.
Yes, according to Lee Valentine and Chris McDonald, who host a show called Faith and Freedom on the Your Voice America network on Sundays, they appeared on the show, and they declared that God will destroy former White House staffer Omarosa for betraying President Trump. God is very upset about this development, apparently. And I must tell you, I'm concerned.
Who did God tell this to?
He told this to Lee Valentine and Chris McDonald.
Who are?
They're these right-wing Christian broadcasters. Apparently, the Lord has their ear.
Wouldn't he go to like the 700 Club first or something like that?
Well, if it were me, I would want him to come right to me. Like if I were Omarosa, I would want him to kind of tap me on the shoulder and say, "Hey, listen, you got to figure out a way to make this right, or I will smite you." So, I mean, that's who I think. But talking to these third parties, I mean, does Omarosa even know these people? I mean, come on, I don't think that's fair.
The lightning is going to come down and burn all her books.
Yes, it's very Old Testament. I like it.
All burn down. Nobody asked you to pick a book.
Be very theatrical. Well, because New Testament God doesn't really do that kind of thing.
Does too.
That's more of an Old Testament God thing, isn't it? Really? Lightning?
Give me a break.
Setting things on fire with lightning?
New
that
Testament.
Seems very
Strike
Old Testament
you blind. Walk down the road. Hey, that sounds good.
Oh, I didn't know that was in the New Testament. My goodness. Well.
Oh, that was New Testament. You remember that? John gets struck blind. Why do I know more about that than you do, Catholic boy?
Terrifying. Well, I was raised Catholic, but
you're not a recovering Catholic. You're I forgot it all Catholic.
I have a few issues and concerns with the church. Hello to Ion Wolf in the Facebook live chat.
And to Archie and to Christian.
I like saying Archie's last name, Frangudis. It sounds like cheese.
I like saying Ion's last name.
Wolf?
Wolf.
Hello, comrade. Are you implying that I'm some sort of communist or that I'm in league with the Russians?
He didn't say hello. He said hello.
Well, whatever. I'm focused on the comrade part of that. That's what concerns me. I don't want Robert Mueller knocking at my door there, Ion Wolf. That's very upsetting. So let's see. Well, speaking of upsetting, so let's get it straight from the horses' mouths. These two folks, these two folks who are very upset with Omarosa and feel that she will soon be destroyed by God.
From somebody this week, and I was not aware of this. She's the wife. I don't know if people remember the movie The Green Mile. It was a movie starring Tom Hanks about a supernatural event with a death row inmate, Michael Clark Duncan. He was the big African-American man that played the main character in this movie. Omarosa and him were married at the time of his death. And I heard this week, Lee, this is crazy. His family, since all...
I'm glad, by the way, he prefaces this with, "This is crazy."
Yeah, no, right?
That shows a level of self-awareness that these folks don't often project.
All this has taken place. They've opened up an investigation into her for misusing his money. This man died a millionaire because he was an actor. And he had made millions in Hollywood, and he left $100,000 to his sister. But there's many, many other millions of dollars they say are left unaccounted for, and they want some explanation. So, and the reason I'm saying that is this. When you go out and you try to destroy somebody that God has anointed, and you go out and destroy God's appointed person, you better make sure that you know what you're doing, because God has a way, Lee, of putting the spotlight back on you and you bearing the cost of your own deception. And that's how I look at all that. It's not so much about the money and all that stuff, but the principle of the fact that she has sought to destroy President Trump, and now she's going to wind up being destroyed herself. And that should warn every one of us, we better be careful how we talk about people that God has their hand on. You better be careful.
This has me worried.
Does he take his own advice?
Well, I'm worried. I mean, if Trump is in fact anointed, and we're not supposed to criticize him. I'm concerned about what's going to happen to me. Am I going to be struck by lightning? Especially now that I know that that's New Testament, I'm even more worried.
How you come against this president, folks. It doesn't mean he's perfect. Doesn't mean he's not going to make mistakes. Doesn't mean that he's going to say things he shouldn't say and all that. But as an authority figure over our nation, we are to respect the authority that God has ordained. And when we don't leave, we put ourselves in his crosshairs.
That's right. And
by the way, I wonder.
Crosshairs. I love that. God and crosshairs. I'm sure every
God is very pro 2A.
Preacher around thinks that that's just great. Yeah.
I have it on good authority. God was not pleased with the assault weapons ban that was passed in the 1990s.
He liked having a bullseye on everybody's back.
Mm-hmm.
That's just wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's just wrong. And Ian said he really likes to say comrade.
Oh, good. All right. I'm relieved. I thought he was implying something truly terrible.
He was said no.
I don't know because I don't have anything to do with Russians.
He really did say no.
I don't have anything. I don't have any investments in Russia. I'm not trying to build a tower. I don't have any hotels. Never been peed on in Russia.
Oy vey.
None of that. So I'm glad, at least for the opportunity to make that clear. By the way, I wonder how these folks, they're so concerned that, this authority figure, this commander-in-chief, he's been anointed by God and we mustn't say anything terrible about him.
How many presidents have not been said about, though? I mean, think about it. I can't think of a president in my lifetime that hasn't had some religious entity somewhere go, they're anointed by God. Yes, God is paying attention to the United States of America election.
Well, they certainly spoke about W that way. They spoke about Reagan, of course, St. Reagan that way. You know who they didn't speak about that way,
Really? These
though?
guys launched bombs and killed people, and you want to attribute that to God? Really?
You know who they didn't speak about?
Really?
They didn't speak about that way. A certain Barack Obama.
Yes, they did.
For some, not these folks. Not the with this audio. No, they felt Obama was installed by Satan. I think. What with him being a Kenyan-born Muslim terrorist.
No, I thought that Trump's Satan now. They changed it, didn't they?
Not according to these people. Trump was anointed by God.
So he's anointed by God, and Obama's Satan now.
Right.
I can't keep it straight.
They were very.
Did they change the archangels?
They were very disrespectful to Obama. I've never been able to quite figure out why. Almost as though there was something a little bit different about Obama than other presidents.
I don't know.
Other presidents
I can't quite put my
just
finger on
freaked
it.
these people out.
There's something blocking my field of vision
Yeah,
there.
I don't know what it is, but they were very, very worried about Barack Obama. But anyway, there's a little bit more to this.
And look, we survived.
It's very clear in the Word of God, touch not my anointed.
That's right.
And I'm telling you, God called Donald Trump to be the president.
Yes, that's right. That's why Hillary won the popular vote, but Trump won the Electoral College.
We're going to start having prayer meetings on the front lawn of the White House and stuff. They're going to build a statue or something.
Well, there are.
I mean, they might as well. The so-called Christians are idolatry and a half.
Oh, yeah. There are statues of Trump, but some of them aren't very nice.
This is true. We had the baby with the diaper in the UK.
Oh, yeah.
There was the Nikki
Trump. That was a blimp, wasn't it?
Yep. There was a Nikki Trump blimp, too. Yep. With the big orange hair. See, that was orange.
Yes, that's true. So, of course, one of my favorite stories in politics is one of the. I have some criticisms of Trump, obviously, but there are things about him that I do appreciate and like, and one of them is his consistent compulsion to needle and publicly harass and embarrass his own attorney general, whom I feel is a sociopath. And that is, of course, Jefferson Beauregard Sessions III, your Attorney General of these United States. I do declare. I have a...
Lordy, where did you ever come up with that?
I have a bit of
Y'all need to put that back in the bag. Put that back in the sack, because you ain't got it.
I have a bit of a loathing for Jeff Sessions, our Attorney General.
Just a bit.
So I do enjoy.
Just a teeny bit.
I do enjoy watching Trump
Just a sport of tea.
publicly torment him. The feud has deepened. According to thehill.com, Trump's feud with the Justice Department deepened today as he lashed out at its prosecution of his former campaign chairman and accused it of applying a double standard and favoring Democrats. Trump actually said, quote, "There's such corruption. Before I got here, it's from before I got here. It's from the Obama administration. When everybody sees what's going on in the Justice Department, I always put justice now with quotes. It's a very, very sad day." Trump's testy remarks during an interview Thursday with, now I usually refer to her as the token blonde from Fox and Friends, but in this context, she does have an actual name because for their interview, she was actually away from Steve Ducey and Brian Kilme. I'm still not sure I'm saying their names completely correctly.
I don't think that you are. I really don't.
I might be a little off with that.
No, I think you're just a titch.
But
Just a titch. Maybe you should go home.
Maybe. The traffic is fine. Whatever. I'm just going to storm out of here. Trump's testy remarks during an interview with Ainsley Earnhardt of Fox and Friends drew a quick response from Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who the president also slammed. So Sessions actually claps back, to use a term that the kids say that now. You know, I try to keep up with the modern vernacular.
I have never heard that.
They say clap back. Yeah.
No, they don't.
When Ben Dion comes in, because he's a high school teacher, he knows all the kids are saying clap back. That's what you call it when you respond.
No, stop.
That's what the youngins are saying.
You just made that up.
The young folks. No,
I made that up.
I actually didn't. That's actually
really
true.
A thing.
That's really a thing. So Sessions clapped back. I'm sure Sessions has no idea what that means. But here's what he said.
It's better than what it was in the 80s when we were kids and everything was alike.
Well, that never went away, though. People still talk that way. Sessions said this, and I will...
Hi, Henry.
I'll do my... is Henry Noel in there?
Hi, Henry.
Hello, Henry Noel.
Yeah, see, I pay attention. You, on the other hand, are oblivious.
Well, it depends on which screen I'm looking at, because I've got Facebook Live open on two different screens, and I see different people on different screens.
Here comes the violin.
So here's what Sessions said. While I am Attorney General, the actions of the Department of Justice will not be improperly influenced by political considerations. I demand the highest standards, and when they are not met, I take action. Trump's anger and so take that, Trump. Trump's anger and frustration with the Justice Department has been an ongoing theme of his presidency. He was furious with Sessions when the AG recused himself from matters related to the Russian investigation. He fired and has since feuded with former FBI Director James Comey and has pointed to private texts between, we all know about this, Peter Strzok and Justice Department Attorney Lisa Page, to argue there is rampant anti-Trump bias at the Justice Department. The comments to Fox appeared strikingly bitter in the aftermath of Thursday's guilty plea by former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen and the guilty verdict his former campaign chairman Paul Manafort. In the interview that aired today, Trump criticized Sessions, who he said, quote, never took control of the Justice Department, unquote, and turned a blind eye to Democratic misdeeds.
What?
Yeah, come on. Jeff Sessions, of all people, is not going to turn a blind eye to... It's because Jeff Sessions didn't... It's because he didn't drop... This is what it really is. It's because Sessions hasn't dropped everything and tried to go after Hillary Clinton, which, I think is kind of old news at this point. I think we can just leave Hillary in the past. I do realize she's probably going to run for president again in 2020 and be the fresh new face of the Democratic Party. But until that happens, I think we can just leave Hillary in the past.
God, no.
Either going to be her or Bernie.
No.
Get out the youth vote.
No.
It's very exciting.
How the youth vote? No offense, but he's like 80.
That doesn't matter. The kids love him. I think this time Bernie should be the nominee and Hillary could be his VP.
How about a whole new slate of people who have never run before?
Oh, my
Wouldn't
goodness.
That be amazing?
It's not their turn.
No Romneys.
How dare you?
No Huckabees. No... Hillary's.
Hey, now
There's a lot of H's there.
Now look, someone who it wasn't his turn ran in 2008, and look what ended up happening. 8 years of Sharia law. So let's be careful about
now
that.
you stop that.
Oh, that didn't actually happen.
No,
did
that
it?
didn't
The
actually
Sharia law.
happen.
I was
You're back
sure
on that page again.
I
You're
was-
back on that page again.
I was
Will
sure.
you get off of that page?
I was sure on his first day he was going to declare Sharia law and take away all our guns.
You are staring at that page again.
That never actually happened, did it?
No, it didn't.
It's so strange.
No. Neither did closing Gitmo. Neither did ending the wars.
Yeah.
Neither did bringing home the troops. Although we did increase the number of troops who've died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Did any promise come true?
oh, yeah. No, he promised Obamacare.
Well, if you happen to be on Medicare and you happen to be under the age of 65, that ain't doing you much good.
He promised other things. No, some things got done, but some didn't. He definitely let us down in some ways.
In some ways?
Yeah, in some ways.
I'd say big ways.
Some things I like about Obama.
End the war, bring home the troops, close Gitmo. Pretty big issues. Anything happen?
No, I agree.
Nope.
I agree with you.
Nope.
The president suggested there was a double standard at play in the prosecution of his former associates, likening Manafort's activity to the work of Democratic lobbyist Tony Podesta and other political consultants. Trump said, quote, it's because of Trump. He can't leave Hillary in the past. He's still on this. He says, quote, look at the crimes that Hillary Clinton did with the emails, and she deletes 33,000 emails after she gets a subpoena from Congress, and this Justice Department does nothing about it, and all of the other crimes they've done, unquote.
Look at the fact that the government sold arms to drug cartels, and some of them found their way back across, and they lost a bunch. Oh, and we had a Border Patrol agent killed with one. Let's not talk about anything of importance, mind you.
So,
I'm sorry. Am I getting off topic
No,
here?
we got to lock
We're
her
getting
up.
off topic.
We got to lock her up.
You know what? No, you know what? None of them are ever held accountable for the bad stuff. It's supposed to be the buck stops here, but when it goes wrong, it's like, oh no, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't know they got deleted. Oh, I didn't know the weapons got sold. Nobody knows nothing unless it's good. Then they know everything.
He also highlighted the case of Imran Awan, a former technology advisor. Oh, I remember this, to Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and who Mr. Hopwood is a bit sweet on, and other House Democrats.
Ew.
Yeah, I think she's disgusting as well. And other House Democrats who were tied to an ongoing investigation into equipment and data theft. Yeah, she. Trump's not, again, he's constantly going back to the past, but he's not wrong with his criticism of the way that was handled and the way Debbie Wasserman Schultz completely covered that up and protected that guy from prosecution.
Can you point to anything in government done recently that didn't involve some type of manipulation?
Oh,
Can you? Can you name one thing that didn't involve some kind of manipulation or hyperbole or whatever to make things worse than they actually are, or get people riled up?
Well, I thought we were going to have a military parade, but apparently that's off the table. Bunch of killjoys.
Oh, gee, maybe we should use that for medical care for veterans. Go figure.
I don't know. Without a parade, how else are we going to continue to remind people that war is awesome and cool?
The only parade that I want to see is a parade of troops coming home and not going back.
Oh, I agree. Trump said, continuing to criticize Jeff Sessions, he said, quote, he had all the information on Democrats. He had all the information on everybody. He went to jail holding the wait. Oh, no.
What?
I'm sorry. He's not talking about. Oh, he's talking about the guy, Imran Awan. Okay. I thought he was back to talking about Sessions.
No, wait a minute. Let me ask you a question.
Because I do so love it when he rips on Sessions.
So, how did Sessions get his job?
Well, he was appointed by the president probably because
So he was appointed by President
He was
Trump.
the first United States senator
Right.
to endorse publicly Donald John Trump,
And now
the greatest president in the history of the galaxy.
he's the worst AG in the history of the country. Do I have that right?
I don't know if he's the worst, but he has certainly disappointed his dear leader.
He's just made all kinds of mistakes for Donald J. Trump.
He just, yeah.
Y'all don't know what you're playing with.
It's a shame.
It's a terrible shame. You all don't know.
Kind of skipping down a little bit, but it says Trump has expressed regret on, because I want to get back to the Jeff Sessions part of it, so I'm skipping some of this other stuff. Oh, here we go. So, quote, the reason he got nothing is because the Democrats are very strong in the Justice Department. I put it on, I put in an attorney general that never took control of the Justice Department, Jeff Sessions. Actually mentioning mentioning him by
basically,
name.
you're saying that you stunk at picking somebody else for a job.
You know, which I don't understand because Trump.
So you're railing on yourself.
Yeah, but I don't get it, though, in a way, because during the campaign, Trump talked about how he was going to surround himself with only the best people, all these incredible people. And then you see all these great people he surrounded himself with, like Michael Cohen and Paul Manafort and Mike Flynn and et cetera, all these amazing, just incredible patriots and just salt of the earth, paragons of virtue that Trump surrounded himself with. And
do you need some heavyweights
but
over
for some
there?
reason,
because it's getting really thick over in that station.
for some reason, Jeff Sessions just has missed the mark. But all these other people, the Papadopoulos guy, they're just great people, just amazing, wonderful people. I don't know.
I'm getting nauseated.
I don't know where he failed with Sessions, but Omarosa, I mean, just great people that Trump surrounded himself with.
I'm
just
telling you, this is
amazing
going to go
people.
down in history as the presidency that had the most employees with the highest turnover rate ever.
You know why? Because we all were getting so tired of winning that Trump had to make some changes because, he warned us we'd get tired of winning. So Trump says, I gotta tamp down the winning a little bit. I got to get rid of some of these amazing people that I've surrounded myself with. Sean Spicer, I mean, was he not the greatest press secretary in the history of the presidency?
Spicy
I mean,
back.
all these great people, and yet for some reason when it came to his AG, he just made a little goof, I guess. Miriam Banish or Banash in the Facebook live chat says, no more moose, so exploring other shows on WMNH. What am I going to do with my drive to work now? Well, you can still listen to the morning show.
Pete'll be on.
The morning show will continue.
So you still have us at night?
He's got other great people.
Morning.
Peter White, much like Donald Trump, surrounds himself with great people. So there you go. Well, not like Donald Trump. I don't think anyone connected to Peter White is going to prison necessarily. But Peter does surround himself with great people.
I mean,
I don't know.
how well do you really know Peter White?
Well, that Scumpy, he is a Trump supporter. No, Scumpy's great. I'm just kidding, Scumpy. He knows I'm just kidding. But he listens to this show, and he's been on
and
this
he
show.
said the traffic was fine.
Scumpy said the traffic was fine. I thought it was.
It was flowing. It was.
I thought it
what
was.
the word he kept?
I thought it was the
it
moose.
was flowing.
I thought it was the moose who said the traffic was fine.
No, it was flowing.
Oh, Scumpy said it was flowing.
It was flowing.
Yeah, it was the moose who
a lot
had nothing to say about the traffic.
We had a lot of flowing.
Right.
That goes back to the Egyptian times.
Yes. Let's see. So Trump has expressed regret on multiple occasions over his decision to nominate Sessions, saying he would not have done so if he knew the former Alabama senator would recuse himself from overseeing Mueller's investigation into Russian interference. Trump said, quote, he took the job.
Coffee thief. Coffee thief.
Oh, my goodness. He took the job, and
he's taking signs down.
Jeff Sessions is a coffee thief. I don't think we need to add that to the list of charges. Trump said, quote, he took the job, and then he said, I'm going to recuse myself. And I said, what kind of man is this? Oh, my goodness. Well, I'll tell you what, I often say that about Jeff Sessions as well, but for different reasons.
Oh, really?
What kind of man
What
is
are
this?
your reasons?
Well, just, I believe he is clinically a sociopath. Let's see. Trump continued, quote, and by the way, he was on the campaign. The only reason I gave him the job is because I felt loyalty. He was an original supporter, unquote. Oh, so Trump admits that that's the only reason he gave him the job. Not because he thought he was the most qualified or the best person for the job or whatever. He's just, he's loyal to me. I'll give him the gig. That's great.
That's how you pick an AG. All right.
Of course, yes.
It's kind of like chucking cards in a hat and picking one out.
That's how, that's how Obama picked Eric Holder. I remember seeing an interview with Obama. He was like, yeah, he seemed like a cool dude,
Didn't New Hampshire made a budget decision once on a flip of a coin?
I don't know, did we?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I don't know. Well, as good a reason as any. Sessions, in his response, took credit for moving Trump's agenda forward at Justice. He said in a statement as he was clapping back, that's for the youngins. They like that when I use the young lingo, so they know I'm a hep cat. He's
a what?
A hep cat. That's
not even your generation.
Oh, they don't say that?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was like your parents' generation.
Oh, see, I get confused. I just want them to know that I'm down with it.
Oh God, just stop now.
I'm
it's
up
terrible.
on, or I'm,
stop.
I'm up
stop.
on it.
No, stop. Just stop.
I'm getting jiggy with it.
No, it's terrible. Just stop.
I try so hard. I just want to appeal to the youth. Sessions said in a statement, quote, I took control of the Department of Justice today. Oh, I'm sorry. I screwed that up. I took control of the Department of Justice the day I was sworn in, which is why we had an unprecedented success at effectuating the president's agenda, unquote. Something about saying the word effectuating with a southern accent is really fun. Effectuating. I don't know why, but I like that. Senator Lindsey Graham.
I think it's because you have the hots for session.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Are you just saying that because I just mentioned Senator Lindsey Graham, who is not in any way ambiguously gay?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican of South Carolina, a close ally of Trump's on Capitol Hill, said he expects Trump will fire Sessions sooner rather than later. Can I do a Lindsey Graham impression? It would be similar to the Jeff Sessions impression, but I have to sound flamboyant.
The question is, can you?
I've never attempted it. Well, that's what I'm saying. Can I? I'm going to try it. This is, I'm going out on a limb when I do this because I will be the first to tell you I am not good at impressions. I definitely am playing to my weakness in attempting to do them. But the thing is,
no,
it's something.
Really?
It is something. It's something that I so desperately want to be good at. Like, I want to be good at it, so I try anyway, even though were I to go on maybe one of those shows where Simon Cowell tells you suck at that, he would tell me that I suck at this, but I'm going to try it. All right, so I got to do, because there's a nice long quote here. This will be a first on the show. I'm going to try to do a Lindsey Graham. So I have to do, I'm going to do Jeff Sessions, but if Jeff Sessions were flamboyant, I don't know if I can do it. This might flop. All right, here we go. The president's entitled to an attorney. Oh, this actually is already going okay, I think. The president's entitled to an attorney general he has faith in, somebody that's qualified for the job, and I think there will come a time, sooner rather than later, where it will be time to have a new face and a fresh voice at the Department of Justice. Clearly, Attorney General Sessions doesn't have the confidence of the president.
That was perfect.
I think that was not bad.
Perfect.
I don't want to let it go to my head, but thank you.
Round of applause.
Thank you.
Yes, very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
That was kind of fun.
Very good.
I hope there's more Lindsey Graham quotes in here. I enjoyed that. That was more fun than doing the Jeff Sessions.
You actually sounded better than your attempts at Jeff Sessions.
I think that might be my best impression yet.
I think it might be.
I mean, I do the Alex Jones, but that one's I actually struggle with. You know what? The Alex Jones impression that I do, I think I was better at it when I first started doing it, but I think ever since I had that problem with my throat, I'm afraid to commit. So now when I do the Alex Jones, I don't really do it as much as I should.
Fear of commitment is a problem for a lot of men.
I just use that word globalists, and I use that as a crutch. Like, I think if I just talk about the globalists and talk about how Jay-Z and Beyonce are part of the Illuminati, I can just get away with that.
But they are.
Well,
and they're Freemasons.
Well, of course they are. Beyonce is actually George Soros.
She's part of the
wearing a mask.
Rosa Christians.
I just can't, but I can't do it the way I used to. I can't do it the way I used to. But you know what? I'm going to replace I'm going to officially replace my Alex Jones impression with my newfound Lindsey Graham impression, and I will do so proudly.
Give it another try first. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there another Lindsey Graham quote in here? I don't want to repeat the same thing.
Oh, you should look for another one.
I don't see any more in it. You know what? All right, we should make sure, though. You're right.
What would
All right, here we
Lindsey
go.
Graham say?
There we go. Here's what Lindsey Graham told Bloomberg. The president's entitled to an attorney general he has faith in, somebody that's qualified for the job. And I think there will come a time, sooner rather than later, where it will be time to have a new face and a fresh voice at the Department of Justice. Clearly, Attorney General Jeff Sessions doesn't have the confidence of the president.
Well, I do declare that was just a lovely. My.
I would vote for that man.
I believe I've got the vapors.
I wouldn't really vote for that man.
I've got the vapors.
Oh, my. Well.
My goodness. You just made me so hot.
Well, I wouldn't bother having the vapors for Lindsey Graham. I'm not suggesting anything, but, he's never been married. Some Democrats...
I don't want to know anything. No.
I'm just saying he's never been married.
No.
Some Democrats have positioned the firing of top DOJ officials as a red line, as they argue it would signal an effort to end the Mueller probe prematurely. Trump's new ire toward justice comes as new threats arise from the Manafort and Cohen developments. Cohen pleaded guilty to 8 felony charges. Okay, we already know all that. So, a lot of the rest of this is just... and the Duncan Hunter thing. Representative Duncan Hunter, Republican of California, he's complaining about the Department of Justice now, calling them a politically motivated group of folks after he was indicted for misusing hundreds of thousands of dollars in campaign funds. So it's all just a giant witch hunt is what it is. All these people getting getting
right,
caught.
because all of the people that work in our political system are honest and true and just.
Says who?
That's right.
Says me.
That's right.
Me. Hey, Dad, there's a Red Sox game tonight.
Oh. I do have another Lindsey Graham thing here.
Oh, no. Why
Actually-
did I think you might find another one?
Oh, here we go. Christian
here he
Cunard in the
goes.
Facebook live chat says, I'm glad to hear and see that you are okay, Matt. You two are a riot, LOL. I am. I'm fine. I'm great. I'm tapping into my inner Lindsey Graham.
He's funny? I don't know.
No, I think she said fine, not funny. Yeah, she said, I'm glad to see that you are okay.
It says, you two are riot. That usually riot in the sense of funny, ha.
Right? No, but before that, she said, I'm glad to see that you are okay, Matt.
Of course.
Oh.
She knows about the incident.
Oh,
that
the
we're
incident.
not going to talk about.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, no, the Lindsey Graham quote I found, it's the same as the other quote. I thought, you know what, though? I don't want to, now that we all know how great I am at doing a Lindsey Graham impression, we don't want the audience to become spoiled. They might, after a while, begin to expect
The question is, how much money do you think Omarosa thinks she's going to make?
Omarosa, how dare you?
Because she turned down the $15K a month. She obviously thinks she's going to make more.
Says who?
Says me.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good gig. I mean, $15,000 a month to
do
just
nothing?
Basically, yeah, I mean, maybe pick up Trump's dry cleaning once in a while and do a teleconference. Is that even a word anymore, teleconference? Does anyone say that anymore? See, now I'm worried I've used an outdated term, teleconference.
Do they even do them?
By using an outdated term, that's going to...
Don't they use electronic technology these days that allows people to visualize and see them and not just have a little telephone thing in the middle of the table that everybody's going, can you hear me now?
I'm concerned that using an arcane term may have damaged my credibility with the young people as someone who's fresh and on point.
You are not hip.
Oh, I try.
I know.
The 11-year-old boy in me will be chuckling as I read this. But I will not. As a grown, mature adult, I will not be chuckling, but the 11-year-old boy in me will.
And if you believe that.
From Mediaite.com, National Enquirer chief David Pecker reportedly turns on Trump, granted immunity by feds. Yes. Pecker has turned on Trump. Christian Connarton in the Facebook live chat says, in what day and age are you, Jenny, living in? There isn't anyone in politics that I trust or like.
Oh, no, darling. That was complete and total sarcasm on my part.
Yes.
Absolute sarcasm. There is no one in politics that I trust.
How do you feel about this Pecker turning on Trump? Do you trust him?
The Pecker turned on Trump?
Apparently, a new report indicates that David Pecker, chairman of American Media, Inc., publisher.
Cohen turned, so
yes.
Pecker turned.
Yes.
So, everybody keeps turning. We're going to have one big circle.
Bet this guy had a rough time in school. Publisher of the National Enquirer and longtime friend of President Donald Trump is turning on the president by corroborating Michael Cohen's accounts in conversations with federal prosecutors. The Wall Street Journal says Pecker has been granted immunity as he talks to investigators about what he knows of Cohen's hush money schemes on Trump's behalf ahead of the 2016 election. The report says Pecker has been cooperating with investigators for months, since he and his company were subpoenaed around the same time.
He's a bad
when
Pecker.
Investigators raided Cohen's office. Yes. Much of the information Pecker offered to investigators connects to his part in the efforts to suppress Trump's alleged affair with Playboy model Karen McDougal. Previous reporting has described how the Enquirer bought the rights to McDougal's story in 2016, but never released it because they supposedly wanted to protect Trump from the controversy it would have caused before the election. Earlier this week, Cohen implicated Trump in campaign finance lawbreaking by saying that his old boss directed the McDougal arrangement along with the payments to silence porn actress Stormy Daniels.
I know what Trump's problem is. I figured it out.
Yeah?
Yeah. He keeps hiring guys.
Well, no, he hired Omarosa.
But that's only one.
And Kellyanne Conway.
And that's only two. There's only been a couple, and they weren't at the same time, really.
And Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Not at the same time.
And Hope Hicks.
Not at the same time.
No, I think because Sanders was, she was deputy press secretary. I think she actually was there from the beginning.
She might have been there from underneath it.
I think she was.
Still, only a few. He's surrounding himself with all these guys, and it's thrown off his game. He needs his beautiful women.
Well, he does have, he has his daughter.
He's, oh, God.
She's around. So,
I mean we know
that.
we know what he thinks of women and how he talks about how he likes to grab
If Ivanka
them.
weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Oh, God, that is so gross.
It's just Trump being funny. Y'all take him too seriously with that.
There's nothing funny about that.
Where I come from.
There is nothing funny about that.
Where I come from in Alabama, where I was born and raised, it's not even that big of a deal.
I think you're insulting the people of Alabama because I'm going to say that this has to come out of New York.
What state is Lindsey Graham from? He's South Carolina, that's right.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, South Carolina.
Does it really matter?
South Carolina.
They all claim him.
I'm from South Carolina. I'm Lindsey Graham.
He's been sent by the Lord to set you straight. Have mercy.
I don't know. He doesn't really talk about. He's not really a Christian evangelical, is he?
Yes,
Lindsey
he
Graham.
is.
Does
he?
he?
Gets on there going, "Oh Lord, telling me
Lindsey
somebody
Graham
having back pain."
Lindsey Graham does.
Doesn't he? Oh
No,
yeah,
I don't.
he does. Yeah, he does. He does
Lindsey
some.
Graham?
He does some TV healings.
No, not Senator
Yes, he-
Lindsey Graham. He doesn't do TV healings. You're definitely thinking of somebody else.
He did before he was a senator.
No, you're completely confused,
No,
God.
there has to be.
You don't say anything right. Why don't you just do the traffic?
You know what? It's fine.
Ah.
It's fine.
Oh, so you're not going to do the traffic
Traffic's
now?
fine.
Why don't you
No.
just go home?
You can't. You got the keys in your pocket.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting.
Keep
my
on stabbing me in the back.
I keep forgetting.
That's right, you do.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
My own car. My own car, you do that. This is what I put up with.
Oh,
See? This is what I put up with.
Well, it's true.
I need help. Where's Heidi? Where's Heidi Hamer when I need her?
Well, she's in the Facebook Live chat.
Help me, Heidi.
Help me, Heidi. Help,
Oh, Christian's
me,
in
Heidi.
there.
Help me, Heidi.
Oh, Lord, he's singing. Here we go. You're going to have dogs howling out the window.
So there's some Gary Johnson news. Did you know that Gary Johnson is running for Senate in New Mexico?
No, I did not.
Well,
What party this time?
No, he's running as a libertarian, but he is outpacing the Republican nominee, and people are surprised. From Reason.com, they're reporting that in a shocking new poll, Gary Johnson is at 21% in Senate race, nearly twice as much as the Republican nominee. More New Mexico Republicans favor the Libertarian than their own candidate for U.S. Senate.
Yeah, but that makes a lot of sense because when he was governor, he did a lot of good work.
Yeah.
He did. He really did do a lot of good work. There's a lot of programs that were spotted there.
Says who?
Says history.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like they're one of the first states to do the Good Samaritan program, or where we have here with the Code Hope to help people that are having addiction issues. He actually cut the addiction rate down in New Mexico by like half.
Yeah. No, he did a lot of good things there. No doubt about it.
He lowered their taxes, lowered some regulations.
And he was a Republican when he did it, so I think New Mexico is comfortable with him in that way.
Yeah.
You know?
They probably see it as a good opportunity to get somebody up there that's going to go outside the box and not be towing the party line.
Right, yeah. Well, it says here, this morning brought the first three-way poll since former New Mexico governor and Libertarian Party presidential candidate Gary Johnson officially announced his candidacy for U.S. Senate last week. And boy, is it a doozy. 39% for Democratic incumbent and front-runner Martin Heinrich, who I think will probably win re-election, and this polling data certainly would indicate that. 21% for Johnson and just 11% for Republican nominee Mick Rich, according to an August 17th Emerson College e-poll of 500 registered voters. Only 500 voters, though. That's a very small sampling size. That 21% figure...
It's not even close to being enough to give a real number.
Yeah, well, who knows? But
I don't think so.
21%, that 21% figure coming as it does before any real campaigning has begun would mark the second highest vote total of any Libertarian candidate for U.S. Senate in the party's 47-year history. Alaska's Joe Miller, a Tea Party guy, received 29% in 2016. I remember that, and I remember a lot of Libertarians were upset because Joe Miller was, clearly not an actual Libertarian.
Well, some might say the same about Gary Johnson.
Oh yeah, I mean a lot of people we know said that about him, and said he's really just a moderate Republican,
Yeah.
An unusually large 30% of respondents said they were undecided, perhaps not surprising, in a race that until last month showed little interest. The news for Rich is even worse on second glance. More Republicans in the survey favor Johnson, 27% to Rich's 25%, and the Libertarian clobbers the Republican among both Democrats, 13% to 3%, with Heinrich getting 60%, and Independents, 25% to 7%, with Heinrich at 32%. Registered Democrats in New Mexico outnumber Republicans and unaffiliateds and Libertarians by a ratio of 46 to 26 to 24 to 1.
You see what I mean about we need new people? We've been saying the same names for 10 years, at least. Where's Romney now?
Yeah, Romney's probably going to be the next senator from Utah. I shouldn't even say probably, almost, definitely.
Third state, right? Third state he's going to hold office in? No. Second state to hold office in, third state he ran in, I think. Well, then Brown ran in Massachusetts, ran in New Hampshire.
Oh, Scott Brown.
It's like they move around and they just find new places to run, and that's why we need term limits. They don't go away.
That's true. They do not.
I gotta say, that's one thing that I would agree with Trump with is term limits.
Yeah, but of course, even if you get rid of, even if you get rid of people who've been in office a long time, you've still got the bureaucrats who are appointed or just hired and stay there and control everything. I don't know what term limits would solve. I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's something I've always been open to, but I'm not convinced it would actually solve anything. It'd be nice if it did.
You've got career That's never the way that it was meant to be. It was never meant to be a career, to be a politician and go up there and decide what laws people had to follow and didn't have to follow for the totality of your life. That was never what was intended to be our government.
Says who?
Says the founders.
Oh, my.
Says the Federalist Papers.
Oh.
Do your homework.
Well, we should take a break. It's the top of the hour, and then we'll come back with some more stuff. I'm going to I should play this since we were talking about her. I'm going to play this Omarosa song again because this is a lot of fun, and then we'll
you have way
come back.
too much fun with them.
With who?
Weird songs.
Well, I like weird songs.
You have too much fun with them.
So does Senator Lindsey Graham.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
All right, I do have to mute the Facebook Live audio while we play this so as not to end up in Facebook jail. But you can, if you are listening on Facebook, you can hear everything online, uninterrupted, unencumbered, unimpinged, by going to WMNHradio.org. But if you are listening on Facebook, I will say goodbye to you for a few minutes. in the afternoon. We are live on WMNH 95.3 FM, emanating from downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. 603-250-6007 is the number to call. 603-250-6007. And Jenny is here as well.
I am.
And
if it's a good thing or not.
We got what's that?
I don't know if it's a good thing or not.
What do you mean?
I don't know. You're a meanie.
I'm never mean.
You were a meanie.
Stop calling me mean. Why don't you just
mean.
stop and just just do the traffic already?
Fine.
So whatever. Why don't you just go home?
Because you have the keys.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. Hello to Ben Dion in the Facebook live chat. Ben Dion, of course, host of the weekly Dion Thursdays at 6 p.m. immediately following this program here at WMNH. And hello to Ricky. I'm just going to call him Ricky L because I don't know how to say his last name. But I don't think I've seen Ricky in our Facebook live chat before during the show. So hello, Ricky. It's good to see you in there.
Not going to see anybody again if you be messing around with their names.
I think it's kind of cool to just use somebody's last initial. Makes him
like
sound
you got something. What is with you today?
Makes him sound like an R&B artist or something. Like, you get the new Ricky L album. Did
is that your way of trying to dig yourself out of a hole?
Did you cop the new Ricky L? See, that's something the young people say now, right?
Did just go for that.
They say, "Yo, did you cop that?"
No,
don't they say that?
No, they don't.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
I'm trying so hard to sound young and hip.
It's not working very well for you.
I thought they said.
You need to realize you are too old for that.
Oh, but
old.
It's so important to appeal to a young audience.
It is.
The youth demographic.
But you're old.
You're only as old as you feel. And I feel like I'm young enough to say, yo, did you cop that?
And
it's
it
fire.
Sounds stupid.
That new Ricky L is fire.
That sounded
They
stupid.
say that. They do.
It sounded stupid.
Ricky L says, I'm usually getting ready for my shows, but I'm taking the week off. Well, it's wonderful to have you here with us. Right?
Of course it is.
Just making sure. Just making sure.
Of course it is.
I want to make sure.
You, I'm not sure.
I want to make sure you appreciate Ricky L as much as I do.
Ricky.
Yes.
I don't know if I appreciate you, but I appreciate Ricky.
Oh, you're getting corrected, by the way, by Chris Rose, who is private messaging me. He says, that was the kid who called the morning show yesterday. I'm not sure what he's referring to there. But then he said, its traffic is good. I watched that video at least 5 times.
Traffic is good?
Yeah, so is what happened on the morning show. For those who don't know, we've been doing these...
let me just let you know that I'm saying what Matt said to say.
We've been doing these...
Okay, so Matt said to say it. So the error is Matt's error, not mine.
We've been doing these...
It's Matt's error.
We've been doing these reenactments of
Matt's problem.
What happened on the morning show.
What happened?
With what happened.
What happened?
That sounds
no happy here.
British. When Joel the Moose Elber got very upset and stormed out after Peter suggested that he leave because Joel did not want to do the traffic.
Keep on stabbing me in the back.
And Joel said the traffic is fine. Or the traffic is good. Oh, no, the traffic is good. I thought it was fine. But no, I guess Chris says, no, the traffic is good. And he says the other message was...
flowing.
Oh,
it's flowing. Wasn't it flowing?
Oh, the other message was from a while ago when Pandora called your show, right? That's right. I remember that now.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, Ricky says Pain Train Pipe Bomb is taking the week off. Yes, a plug for his show there. Very, very good show. Pain Train Pipe Bomb. I love the name.
Me too. I love it.
Let's see. Oh, okay. So that was everything that Chris had to say about that. Yeah. So Chris, I am curious, Chris, if you felt the same uncomfortability that I felt watching the video of the meltdown that happened on the morning show. Like I was saying earlier, I felt like like I was watching my parents fight.
Yeah, that was. It was. It
the
was
end
awful.
The end of an era. Really, it's like what people must have felt like.
What does it have to be? It's so silly. They get something and make it so big. And 2.5, 3 years.
It must be what people felt like watching Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis come apart and split up.
Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz.
Yeah, that's right. They
Yeah.
got a divorce, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you had
Very
the
sad.
Lucy show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all separate.
That's right. Well, maybe Peter White could get Desi Arnaz. Is he still alive? Could he be the new Moose?
no.
He'd be like a Cuban Moose.
And
do they have-
more like a skeletal one at this point.
Do they have moose in? Because you don't say mooses, right? It's moose, and you don't say meese, because then it sounds like you're talking about Ed Meese
Moose.
from the Reagan administration. Do they have moose in
a
Cuba?
moose is a moose.
Are there Cuban moose?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I've never been to Cuba.
No, I can't say that I have either.
Why don't you look it up?
So Chris Rose says, I felt very uncomfortable, but it was like a car crash. You couldn't keep your eyes off of it. Oh, yeah, no, it's interesting to watch. The thing is, too, like, I love radio fights. Like, whenever an argument happens on the Howard Stern show, like I can go on YouTube and type Howard Stern argument, and there's an epic Opie and Anthony argument that happened from 2009 that I still listen to once in a while because it's extremely entertaining. But when it's people you know and people you care about, it's not as much fun. It's uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, you don't want to watch people you care about tear each other apart.
Right, yes.
So
Not that-
I hope that there will be a kumbaya.
yes,
Yes,
I hope so too.
yes.
Well,
Niceties and kumbayas and Kool-Aid for everyone.
yes. and we should remind people, too, anyone who's joining us late who doesn't know, the morning show, of course, is continuing with Peter White. So it's not like the show's not going to go on. Much like Celine Dion said about her heart.
This morning.
And her heart will go on. So will the morning show with Peter
but her
White.
heart didn't go on.
Peter White, kind of like, he's like our Celine Dion. What do you mean her heart didn't go on?
She lost her poor husband. That was her heart.
But her heart goes on. She still has a heart. Like,
it's true.
otherwise
She
she'd be
has
dead.
one.
I didn't know what you meant there for a second. I thought you were implying that
Well,
Celine
maybe
Dion
she
was
turned
dead.
into like a vampire or something, and then she wouldn't need a heart.
How dare you speak that way about Celine Dion? My
Well,
goodness.
then she wouldn't need a
She
heart.
is a chanteuse and deserves your respect.
A what-a?
Chanteuse?
What's the what-a?
This is chanteuse. It's like French or something.
Okie dokie.
Yes, it's how you describe someone
Si,
like
senor.
Celine Dion. That's Spanish. How dare you?
Oy vey.
Oh, well. Joel also speaks that language.
That's called Yiddish.
Perhaps you and he can talk, and you can help him through this, and
I
help
would
him
like to.
help him find his way back to the morning
I want
show.
him to come back.
Yes, indeed.
He's a good man.
He is a good. Well, he's a good moose.
He's a good moose.
Yes.
He's good at traffic
Yes. He's
Yes.
very good at traffic.
and sports.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
good with he keeps
Well, he's kind of good at sports. I got to take some points off of the fact that he cheers for the wrong team.
he keeps the traffic though. Sometimes he'll keep it very brief and concise,
It's flowing.
as you may have noticed. Yes.
It's good.
Keep on stabbing me in the back.
But let's. So this is a story that I have expressed with some skepticism, which is why I'm not all the way there. But I have been warming to the idea of Medicare for all. I've been warming to the idea, and apparently so have a lot of other people. According to thehill.com, 70% of Americans support Medicare for all in a new poll.
And I bet you none of them know that Medicare products are allowed to deny people for pre-existing conditions.
Right. Well, hopefully that would change. I mean, if it's Medicare for all, it's for all. So I would hope that would be.
We're supposed to have
I would
health
hope that
care
would be
for all
fixed.
right now,
That's-
and they just turn people down
That's-
for. They can turn people down now.
That's right. No, I agree.
So much for health care for all.
No. A vast majority, 70% of Americans in a new poll, supports Medicare for all, also known as single-payer health care. Actually, we'll hold that thought because we have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed in the Afternoon. Who's on the line?
Slicko.
Oh, my goodness, it's Slicko. How are you, sir? I haven't talked to you in a long time.
Hey!
I know. I got to get my stuff
Oh,
together.
oop.
I'm really. Yeah, I caught myself. I know we're on the real stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I've just been. I've been kind of doing some other things, trying to figure out how we're going to do the radio show. Probably going to go with YouTube. But I just want to call in because we have an anniversary this week.
An anniversary. Oh, my goodness. I didn't know you were married.
I am not, but
Oh.
2 years ago was, I believe it was 2 years ago today, was the famous me running up on Tony D and doing the interview in public.
Oh, yes.
That is close to hitting 10,000 views.
No way.
Wow. Whatever happened to Tony D. Young? I haven't even thought of him in a long time.
It has been a while.
Yeah.
Dr. Phil really just ruined his career.
Well, that's
Dr.
too
Phil
bad.
called up his, he called up 50, he called up Eminem, and he called up Jay-Z and Kanye, and just black flagged him.
Wow. Poor Tony D.
I don't
Young.
know, but so the guy he has the most beef with, though, ever, like almost as much beef as me, I guess. He's probably second in line, which is A.J. Reynolds, who was just on the TV show 4.
Yes, I actually
And
played.
he lost pretty bad, but
I played AJ Reynolds' track "Cheeks" here on the show. AJ Reynolds,
nice.
I would suggest, as the young people would say, has really been blowing up. The young people
yeah,
say
yeah.
that, right?
Will you get him to stop
that's
that?
pretty much what they
He
say.
is an old
No.
man trying to sound young, and it's terrible.
Did you hear what Slicko just said? He said
No.
that's what they say. He agreed with me.
No, that's right on point.
That's right
I'm
on
getting
point.
to that age too. Hold on, let's
Oh,
not talk
see
about
if
age
I
yet.
come out on your side again.
I'm on point.
That's
he said.
it. That's it. You went the wrong way.
I am on point.
That's
So, I
it.
mean, all in all, though,
He's on the poo-poo list.
AJ's still at the age where he definitely could make some good moves. So I'm proud of him.
Oh yeah, he's only like 25, I think, from what I
Oh,
was
yeah.
reading, and yeah, no, he's I
Is
played.
he that old?
I think he's 25.
That's
is what,
not old. God.
Yeah. Well, in the music
Well,
industry, though, you.
I
He's
thought he
got
was a
us
little bit
one
younger
foot in
than
the
that, but I guess
grave.
25 is about right.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, if he's younger, then I'm younger. You know what I mean? It all comes back.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
So it's kind of a.
Exactly.
But no, he went on that show. He did Cheeks, and it blew up. I've never seen that crowd so into it.
yeah.
And it's a setup show. It's reality TV,
Mhm.
nonetheless. If you watch that full episode, and you know a background such as I do, how things are made, you're like, wow, they set him up for failure, because they're not going to let the kid from New Hampshire win. And,
Yeah.
And the whole show setup is like kind of weird anyways. It starts with 4 people, and then like somebody on the last episode to steal your spot and then like win it. I don't really understand the concept of the show. P. Diddy must have been really drunk when he was trying to figure out how to make this show, because it doesn't make sense to me. But
Oh no.
the backlash of it all is, I think that if he chose somebody else to battle, he probably would have gotten a seat. But
Mhm.
it's a played show, and the deal was he had to battle her, and she had that song and killed it.
Oh yeah.
But AJ did very, very good, and he's
Yes.
getting mad love from a lot of people right now. P. Diddy's sharing stuff on Snapchat.
and
Meghan
Megan Trainor was very
um,
impressed with him.
Oh yeah.
she's about it.
Yeah.
If AJ was single, I'm telling you, he'd probably be dating her right now.
By
True
the way, Ricky L in the Facebook live chat says, "Hey, I'm 41 and I'm still cool with language." Slicko, have you yet copped the new Ricky L?
I have not copped to the new Ricky L. Who is Ricky L?
Oh, he's blowing up. That's all I'll say.
But Ricky, he's Matt's closer to 50 than 40. So
That's
yeah.
not true.
So-
How dare you? But
Not true.
But-
Matt is 33 years old.
that's right.
His ID.
No.
Yes.
And his
The birth
B-Day's
certificate
coming
did come
up.
from Hawaii, so I was a little confused. But
What about
but that's
Hawaii?
fine.
What's that?
Your
He
birth
said-
certificate, it came in. It was from Hawaii. So I was
Yes.
confused, but it looked legit.
Well, I'm actually from Kenya, but no one believes me. And I show them the proper documentation, and they think it's fake.
Ugh, Kenya, I believe it. I mean, it makes sense to me.
They think that, like,
Yeah, you look like it.
I show it to people, and they're like, "You switched that with someone, didn't you?" And I said, "No, I don't know what you're
Yeah,
talking about."
Tupac.
Hmm?
Tupac.
Yeah, well, you know.
Tupac's doing Alive and Well in Cuba.
Oh, with the Cuban. Do you
I just
know?
want to plug my show tomorrow, though.
Oh, please do.
I got
Yes.
a show tomorrow at the radio station in Portsmouth.
Oh, WSCA
And,
in Portsmouth. Yes.
Yeah. So basically, I wanted to let everybody know we have very few tickets left
Hmm.
for the show. I believe there's 9 plus like 5 snacks. So we have about 14 tickets left.
Wow.
$5. Going to see some great acts. 8, Bug Out, myself. Parker Gang, who is very young. I think he's only 17.
Oh.
And he has a great fan base.
Good for him.
And SG 603, also, they're about 19. So we're working with some younger kids who can't get into the bars.
Yeah.
Let them do
Yeah.
some headlining shows with some New Hampshire legends, and it makes for a good show.
Yeah, very
Oh,
good.
that sounds great.
Where
Sound by DJ Lundy. Currently,
Where people go to get tickets?
yeah, where can people cop those tickets?
Oh God, here he
they
goes
can
again.
hit me up in the DM. If you find Slicko on any social media, see Ricky White T on the Instagram and Richard Slicko Harriman on Facebook, just DM me and I will give you a ticket. We'll also post online up until we sell out. So just come down. Maybe we'll let you in and go over capacity a little bit. I didn't say that.
Oh, break a leg, have a good show.
It's a smaller venue. It's not even a venue. You know me, Matt. Give me speakers and I'll turn anything into a venue.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but that's
I miss
good.
the hair salon.
I like that.
We were doing hip hop in Manchester on the Strip
Yep,
before any of those bars were doing hip hop.
that's true.
Canucci's, Shackstein, whatever the hell they call that place.
Yeah, the Shaskeen, yeah.
They like own hip hop now in Manchester, and we were doing shows right up the street.
Yep, at the old Styling Souls, which is now a candy store. But yeah, those
I
were
like
good times.
candy.
Store. I
It's a good song,
tried
too.
to figure out which place it was.
Yeah. Yep, Styling Souls.
Maybe talk to candy store people. You know,
Oh,
I'll show
yeah.
up like it's my old house kind of thing.
Maybe they'd like.
Oh, I used to play shows here.
They'd probably be surprised and maybe even a little confused. They'd probably be like, no, you've got the wrong place.
But no, this is the place. We actually just did a show at Joe's Pizza. I don't know if you know about Joe's New York Pizza in
No.
Portsmouth.
I do not.
Well, clearly you don't frequent Portsmouth enough because that's the place to go. If you're drinking, basically what happens is everyone drinks, and then at 1 o'clock they either go to that, like, I can't think of the name of it. It's just like a truck. It's like a permanent, like
Like a food?
trailer.
Oh, like a food truck.
Galley Hatch, maybe? I don't think that's the name of it.
Uh,
It's someplace, they either go there or they go to the pizza restaurant.
yeah,
So we set up there at about 10 o'clock, and we played till like 2:33 in the morning.
yeah.
And it was a pretty cool show. I won't lie. You don't need to sell tickets. You don't need to get people there. They're just going to come.
Wow. And you
So
can,
it sells itself, and that was a pretty fun show. Nobody's ever done that before.
and it sounds like you can cop some pizza while you're there.
Oh yeah,
will you give it a
rest?
rest?
Right there, because the
Cop a
pizza
slice.
is amazing over at Joe's.
Mm.
You
He's
can also
doing
get
that
Bug
just
Out-
to be annoying.
Mm. No.
Just
You can
to
also
be
cop
annoying.
Bug Out's new. Well, it's not new. It's the year anniversary. He only did a digital copy last year, and he printed up 100 copies of the Bugness album, first Bugness album. So you can actually go to Joe's Pizza, get a slice of pizza, and go get Bug Out's album.
Oh, very good.
I recommend. Album's great. Artwork's crazy. You can also DM Bug Out for some CDs. He's going to be sending some out Monday.
Yeah,
And we shot a music video for that album. I don't know if you've seen it, Matt.
I have not seen that.
It's called What You Need.
Oh,
So
Ooh.
get on that. I'm going to go share it on your page. We'll get off the phone with you.
Oh,
What You Need, I shot the
don't
video
be
with Lenny,
afraid,
we edited it.
Ricky.
You know, great.
I
But
got it.
basically, I'm just working with new artists. I'm trying to get a good push on Bug Out. We're looking at a tour in October.
very good,
And I
very
gotta
good.
get my girls New Fame on your show. They got so booked and they lost translation with you, so they never did
Oh.
the show. But we definitely got to get them on when they come back because
Are you talking about
they've been touring for like 8 months straight.
Are you talking about the Korean? They're Korean. Is that what it is?
Yeah, they're from Korea, but they are American.
Oh, okay.
I believe they're both from New York, and yeah, I guess they went there and they played music and they liked it, and then they just moved there, which is
Oh.
pretty crazy.
Wow,
Wow.
that is, yeah.
But they've actually been touring for 5 years total, straight.
Oh.
Basically, been touring for 5 years, thousands of shows.
Wow.
And they're amazing. Their freestyle game is out of control. Both girls can sing and rap. They can gangster rap. They can regular rap. It's just, you go see one of their shows, and it's mind-boggling.
Sounds impressive.
Very good. Very good.
And so hopefully, if everything works out, we're going to be doing a show, same place at the radio station with them, Halloween show, October 26th.
Ooh.
Okay.
You gonna get dressed up?
So, but mainly, just show up tomorrow, and it's going to be a fun time tomorrow. I'll tell you that much.
Well, before we
And
let...
I'd like to come out. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
You'd like to come out?
Wow.
Oh,
You're-
wow.
Right,
All
right,
right.
right,
We got an exclusive here.
right here on the air. Well, okay. Well, we don't judge, but Slicko, no, I was going to say you should, before we let you go, you should definitely plug the show one more time so everybody knows about it. And you, if you want to finish the thought about coming out, feel free to do that as well.
No, I want everybody to come out to my show.
Oh.
Gay, lesbian,
I cover up.
no, that does not matter to us. We are pro-rights.
Yes.
And, so it's Ace, Bug Out, SG603, Parker Gang, and myself. Oh, and Jimmy James is going to be playing as well. $5. Just come down or DM me for a ticket, and we're going to have a really good time tomorrow. Slicko show, we'll come back. I got a lot of things working to try and get my license back currently, so it's taking up a lot of my time.
Yes.
But we'll come back. We'll do a couple specials, and we're gonna do some live shows too. So basically, a free show that you can just cop online. You can either download the video after and watch it live, and just have a nice house party feel without the audience.
Oh.
And we put it out there for everyone to watch after.
Very good.
We've done a couple of them, like we did the New Year's Eve one last year.
Yeah.
Ricky says he's afraid to call in. Why? We won't bite.
Yeah. Call in, Ricky L. All right, Slicko. Well, thank you so
Slicko,
much.
we
I'm
don't
gonna call
bite,
him.
huh?
Thank you. Thank you so much for the call, my
No
friend.
problem. Thank you guys. Much love. Matt Connarton, this guy does this show every week, so I hope you guys are listening. Monday through Friday, every single week. Matt is killing himself to do this.
Oh, my goodness.
I appreciate that, Matt. And one more time, shout out to Tony D. Young. Almost 10,000 views. Go search Slicko and Tony D. Young on YouTube. You'll
Now
find
you
the
got
video.
me in
It's
the
hilarious.
mood to
I'm
listen
vaping.
to Pool Noodle.
People give you so much junk. The hate I'm getting in the comments, like you'd think they'd all be like hate to Tony.
Right.
I get so much hate comments.
Wow.
And yeah, just talking about my crooked teeth and like me vaping, and I'm just like an idiot for even trying to interview Tony. I said, why am I the idiot?
You're a
Yeah,
journalist.
like-
You're a journalist is what you are.
Sounds like fun.
Trespass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trespass. But so I'll wrap it up right now. I just wanted to say that you would think that a video like that would just die out.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I have so much Google and YouTube power. That literally, when you type in the kid's name, it's the first video that comes up.
That's great.
Because the views weren't bought.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
You know, it's
I love
unpurchased
it.
views. They're real views, genuine views. And so when you search the kid, it's the first video that comes up. So to this day, like I got a comment
love
on it this morning, and I had 10 views already today on that video. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And the diss track's way over 5,000 now.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
about to hit 6,000 on the diss track.
Wow. That's amazing.
Wow.
So, Tony D. Young, I hope you are doing
There's
good.
one way
I
to become
appreciate
famous.
you, and let's collab soon, bro. Let's collab.
You kind of already have, but yeah.
Yeah, we kind of have. Pool Noodle. Go check out Pool Noodle.
Oh,
So-
yeah. See, that's what I said. It put me in the mood for Pool Noodle.
Yes, I might have to play that. All right, Slicko, we'll
Play it at the end. Play it at the end. I'll let you guys get going.
all right, so
Much love, Matt.
all right, Slicko, thanks for the call, my friend.
Hey, to Fred. I see you
All right,
in the
bye-bye.
chat room.
Yes, Fred.
Welcome aboard.
Fred Bonig,
Come on, Ricky, call in.
Fred Bonig from the
Ricky L, come
dailyripple.org.
on.
603-250-6007 is the number to call. 603-250-6007.
Have no fear.
You'll
Matt and I are here.
You'll want to do it soon because
We're
Thursdays
running out of time.
Thursdays we wrap up a little bit early just to let the guys get in here for the weekly Die-On. Of course, the Die-Ons, Ben Die-On and his father, Daryl Die-On. They are a father and son team.
Very good team.
Yes,
Very good team.
I just hope there's no. See, I worry though now that something's going to happen. Like, Ben's got like what if Daryl Dion says something foolish and then Ben gets on him about it, and then there's something about the traffic,
Says,
and
"Get
then
out."
Daryl storms out. I mean, anything can happen in the studio. It can be
Well, then
quite
you have to respect
calamitous.
your parents, so Dad wins.
Oh, that's true. That's a good
So,
point.
Dad.
That goes
Dad
back
just
to the
reigns.
Egyptian times.
Yes, it does. Absolutely. Oh, Slicko now joins us in the Facebook live chat. But
Woohoo!
I am going to pull up Pool Noodle
Come
and
on, Ricky,
end with it
call
today.
in.
Well, we don't want to pressure him. If he's comfortable with it, he can.
I dare you. I double dog dare you.
Christian Cunard in the Facebook live chat was saying about that article. Medicare is worse than Medicaid that you get from the states. Medicare doesn't cover hearing aids and various other aids unless you pay for secondary insurance.
If you can get secondary insurance and aren't denied it for having a pre-existing condition.
Right.
Which is only allowed on Medicare products.
There's no.
But I digress into actual reality.
There's no swears in the Pool Noodle song, right? It's all clean, I think, right?
I think it was clean.
Yeah, I just. Oh, I think at the end, though, there might be something. Oh, the phone's ringing. I might not play it because I'm not sure if it's totally clean. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed in the Afternoon. Who's this?
It's Ricky.
Yay!
Ricky L. How do you say your last name, sir?
Litwinkowicz.
Lit. I don't know if I can even do it. Litwickwit? I can't do it.
Litwinkowicz. You break it down into syllables and you're
Linkwikowicz.
okay.
Litwinkowicz?
That's what I just said.
Yes.
Did I do it? Oh,
You did.
okay. Well, very good. Well, how are you, sir? Tell us about, you should plug your show, Pain Train Pipe Bomb. Apparently, I can't say that either.
Well, in our description, we basically say it's like a bunch of people that have known each other for years. We get together, we find some really strange and peculiar topics to talk about, and it's a lot of fun when all of the cylinders are running and everybody's here on time and everything else. But one of the things our show is really basically known for is a lot of technical issues, whether it be microphones or internet or something really weird happens, and we just sit there and struggle to put it all together, but we get the shows done together every week.
Do you think his show is possessed? Could there be a poltergeist at work?
Oh, my. Well, I hope not. And how often are you on?
We do 2 shows a week on Thursday nights, normally 7:30 and 9. This week we're taking a little bit of a break. We've had a lot of creative differences this week, so we decided to back off and let things reset themselves and just go as normal.
Are them there fighting words? Slicko's in the chat room saying he's calling your show the Ghetto Ricky Radio Show.
I think that's
no, I don't.
yeah, I think that's a reference to
No, a spin-off of the Ghetto Slicko Radio Show.
Yeah, because Slicko used to have a show called the Ghetto Slicko Radio Show. So I think
I love it. That's awesome.
I think Slicko is looking to collaborate with Ricky L.
Oh,
is what Slicko's getting at.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
I have to tell you though, since I started last year with my show, now we're actually the 29th of this month would be 18 months the show has been airing. A lot of shows don't really get that far.
Yeah.
And there's always been a lot of interchangeable parts on our show, which kind of makes everything great. But along the way, I've gotten picked up by the Derek Rutherford Show. Now I'm a mainstay on there. I do audio and graphics for shows now. I get picked up for a lot of projects. I'm starting to do some producing projects soon, so hopefully those will start rolling out. And this is all while I'm working at comp, because it kills a lot of my time to just be constantly working on these things.
Yeah.
So if it were another show to collaborate with another New Yorker, I don't know.
Slicko says that he likes the idea.
Although Slicko is not a New Yorker.
No.
He's a fellow
New Hampshireite.
Yes, a Granite Stater, if you will. But
a live free or dyer.
now you mentioned producing. Do you mean were you referring to producing shows, or do you produce music, or what do you mean?
Well, the producing is going to be a very large base at this point. It's a shout out to Derek Rutherford. I know he's probably not listening, but he'll know at some point that it'll get out to him. We've decided that to not only just do our shows, but try to help build other shows. He's currently working on a mental illness project right now, which is what we're trying to build. And it's basically, again, it's just a show talking about all type of mental illnesses. We're going to have guests on, like doctors, psychiatrists, and stuff like that to help people out. There's other shows that we've started on. For example, there's a show called All Things Metal that I believe is in its 14th or 15th week tonight.
Okay.
And Derek and I have been behind the scenes on that, trying to get that show out, and it's been a very big hit. So what we're basically doing is, if people have ideas that want to be put out there, like they want to make their show better. Derek's got 10 years experience. I'm a newbie into the thing, and sorry, Jenny, for the new age lingo.
No. You don't have to be sorry. Oh, only Matt.
But
Yes.
but I'm a newbie on the block, and I've seen a lot of shows, and within the research for doing my show, I took a lot of naps. They weren't boring. They weren't anything that really kept a lot of people interested. And I guess from being a viewer and then now being on screen or on air, that I know the differences of things that'll keep people interested. So I'm kind of the breath of fresh air to try to revitalize or re-innovate the game a little bit.
Okay.
So
Very
people
good.
have to tune in, check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you said now Pain Train Pipe Bomb it's off this week, but then it returns what day?
It'll return Thursday next week on the 30th.
Okay.
We have been kind of fluctuating between Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
We were a mainstay on YouTube for a long time due to Facebook's algorithm issue and content issue. We were on Facebook the last few weeks trying to see if the numbers game would be a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically the same. It's just getting the advertising out for it. But we might split them one week and just do a Facebook and a YouTube, or depending whichever mood I feel in by the time I get to sit down in front of the 3-computer system that we have set up here. I could flip YouTube one week totally and then just Facebook another week.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
you can find this on both.
Yeah.
On Facebook, Pipe Bomb is 2 words. Apparently, they didn't want me being a terrorist act on Facebook by putting the words together.
Okay.
Oh.
And on YouTube,
What
Pipe
do they
Bomb
do
is
with
all
the dictionary?
Is all one word.
On
So,
YouTube, it's all one.
That's how
Okay.
everybody can really find us.
Okay. Gotcha.
You mean like how it's in the dictionary?
All right. Well, Ricky, we're running out of time, so we'll let you go. But thank you so much for the call, and call anytime. We're here Monday through Friday.
Okay, I will do.
All right, Ricky. Thank you so much, my friend. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right, that
he
was
a nice guy.
Of course, yes, Ricky L. I already forgot how to say his name. Slicko says, "Wait, we were in Manchester on this show. There can't be any bad words. It was your audio." Yeah, you're right, Slicko. I think Pool Noodle is totally clean, and I can play it.
Oh, we can play my favorite song?
Yeah, Fred.
Oh, it's
Fred,
my favorite Slicko song.
Fred also sent me to something to play, but Fred, I'm going to save that for tomorrow. We'll end with the Pool Noodle Slicko song is a lot of fun.
We got to have it.
Good stuff.
I got to have me some Pool Noodle.
Yes. But anyway, just to kind of put a bow on the Medicare for All thing. So this polling is interesting, and actually there's a Reuters Ipsos survey that breaks it down. 85% of Democrats said they support Medicare for all, along with 52% of Republicans. To see more than 50% of Republicans is very interesting. And, Charles Krauthammer, the conservative columnist who passed away, I think it was within the last year now, he predicted, he didn't support the idea, but he predicted, with the whole debacle of the Republicans trying to repeal the Affordable Care Act and whatnot, that, and the failure of that, he said, eventually, his prediction was that some kind of, Medicare for all, some kind of universal health care in the United States is inevitable. And again, he wasn't saying that in support of it, but he said he felt that it was inevitable. And I think, Ricky says, thank you for having me on. Hey, you're very welcome. And I mean it. Call anytime.
Fred says my song better be good.
Yeah, the Poo Noodle song better be good. It's a lot of fun.
But if you have any confusion, we'll have to tell you the history later.
Yes. There's a whole.
There's some real fun stuff about this.
There's a whole backstory to the Pool Noodle song, and it does involve some local or a local politician here in the Granite State who
short-lived politician
who had because actually the full title of the song is Pool Noodle, and then in parentheses, Bend the Truth. Like a pool noodle, which actually, until Slicko recorded that song, I didn't even know what a pool noodle was. I didn't know, I'd seen them, but I didn't know that was the term for it, that it was a pool noodle. And
really?
then when he explained it to me, it made sense. I was like, okay, I get it.
You
now.
come off with some of the craziest words when you're on air, but you can't figure out what a pool noodle is.
Well, I didn't know I hadn't heard the term. I didn't know what it was, but it's good now I do know, so I can be more on point.
I guess you're catching up with your language.
Slicko said I was on point. He said it.
He did.
Yes.
He did. I got to give him that.
That's right. All right, so the weekly Die-On is coming up next at 6 p.m. right here at WMNH 95.3. And, of course, if you missed any part of today's Matt Connarton Unleashed in the afternoon, it will be up and available in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org, where we do archive all the shows, this show, the weekly Die-On, the morning show.
Yep.
I don't know what it's called now, if it's just the morning show or if it's the morning show with Peter White. I don't know. Oh, Fred
Pool
just
noodles bend the truth.
Fred just posted in the Facebook live chat. A pool, yes. What is it? I'm gonna
He's
click
trying
it.
to show you what a pool noodle.
Yes. For anyone listening who's in the Facebook live chat who does not know what a pool noodle is, Fred just posted a helpful link to Lowe's where they do show the pool noodles, and they're actually very inexpensive.
Yes, and Slicko named the song that. To keep it true.
Yes, that's right.
To keep it true.
That's right.
And he says Peter White is a man.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so
here comes my song.
We're going to get out of here. Thank you, Matt Connarton Unleashed in the afternoon. We'll talk at y'all a little bit later. Here is from Slicko. This is Pool Noodle. Bend the Truth. It's like a Matt Connarton Unleashed exclusive here at WMNH. All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Controversy. If Sean's been catching a lot of hate from Slicko and some other people that I know.
I brought my director of community relations.
Okay.
What's that?
Today, so we had some meetings.
Are you a state rep?
I was a former state. And the majority of the people were artists.
Of course, some of what's been going on Facebook.
You want to explain that show?
What I like that